Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to a special debate edition of Nevada Newsmakers.
We're discussing question 3 with John Tsarpalas of Nevada Policy and Mike Draper, spokesman for Yes on 3. They're both here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Nevada Newsmakers Goes to Washington is brought to you by Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you. NV Energy. NV Energy proudly serves Nevada, providing electricity to 2.4 million electric customers. The Nevada Mining Association, mining a better future for Nevada. And University Medical Center of Southern Nevada, offering the highest level of care in Nevada.
Here on 7 at 7, we're bringing you the local headlines in just 7 minutes.
We've got you covered in the morning, evening, and for all breaking news, in between, and as it happens.
Life is busy, and we don't waste your time. Join us for local news now streaming on our YouTube page.
Story County is leading Nevada. Home of the Tahoe-Reno Industrial Center, Google, Tesla, Panasonic, and other world-leading companies. Story County provides thousands of tech, advanced manufacturing, and logistics careers for Nevadans. We're diversifying and driving Nevada's economy and generating millions in tax revenue and billions in economic activity across northern Nevada. Story County is leading Nevada's future.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we are going to have a debate today on question 3, which we will explain as we go along here. Mark Robinson from the Reno Gazette-Journal, who covers state politics, is here with me to moderate the debate. We have Mike Draper, who is a spokesman for Yes on 3, and John Tsarpalas, who is the president of Nevada Policy. So let us begin.
Thank you for having us.
You're very welcome. And Mike, I'm going to ask you, why do we need question 3?
Well, Sam, I think we can all agree that for most Americans, and certainly most Nevadans, they feel like the political system isn't working for them right now. They feel disenfranchised. They feel angry. We have a lot of polarized politics, and that really their voice doesn't matter, and that oftentimes they're voting for the lesser of two evils. When you couple that with the fact that in this state we now have more than 1 million voters that can't vote in a primary election that they help fund through their taxpayer dollars, we have a problem. Question 3 begins to fix those problems, giving people more of a voice, allowing everyone to vote in a primary, and really incentivizes candidates to speak to the majority and not the vast minority.
All right, John, I think you might have a different opinion on this.
I sure do. Well, I think this will encourage more disenfranchisement. When you're using a ranked choice voting system and you have to make 5 choices for each office on the ballot, this puts a real burden on the voter. The voter has to figure out their first choice, their second, third, fourth, or fifth, or run the risk of a ballot that's considered exhausted if it should be looked at again. And we'll get into that a little later here because that's crazy. Some ballots are looked at once, some twice, some maybe 3 or 4 times. Could be. That makes no sense. It doesn't seem like it's the American system. Yes, the primary problem, the problem is that we're having taxpayers pay for 2 private organizations, the Republican Party and the Democrat Party's primaries. The simple solution really is let them fund it, let them go back to the caucuses, conferences, whatever they did 100 years ago, but pre-primary, because that's how the system worked. That's what we do to all the other little parties, Libertarian, Greens. They do their own thing and put up their candidates to the general ballot. They figure that out. That would be the best system. But a California Final 5, jungle style, open primary, there's a whole lot more possibility for manipulation and problems there too.
Okay, I want to just point out here that my understanding is that, and this is the Gwynn Institute did a wonderful job of explaining all this, and you can go back on the Nevada Newsmakers website and just type in Gwynn and it'll come up. But ranked choices for United States Senator, the House, Governor, the constitutional offices and state legislators, local races, including county commission, are not included. Am I right on that?
That's correct.
Okay, so it's not every race on the ballot. Okay, mark
It's
it.
10 races.
Okay.
Well, and so one thing to perhaps help get people up to speed is, give me your elevator pitch. Let's start with you, Mike, is of just how do you describe what this ballot measure does to the average person so they don't tune out and go, oh, wait, that's too much information?
Sure. I think this is an exciting ballot measure. The fact that it's a two-part ballot measure and those parts work in conjunction with each other. The open primary allows everyone to vote in a primary. Right now, we have a problem in the state. I think this year we had 19% of the electorate participate in the primary. So we have very few making decisions for very many. So by allowing everyone to participate in the primary, we began to address that problem. There's several people, there's like I said, 1 million, 40% of our electorate can't participate in a primary that they help fund. The second piece of that is the top 5 candidates would then, that are elected out of the primary, would go to the general election. Now you have a situation where candidates have to talk to a majority, because if I'm not going to rank my candidate number 1, they certainly want me to rank them number 2. So they've got to talk to a majority of people. We also began to incentivize those candidates rather than just talking to their political base or to the most staunch party supporters. They're now incentivized to talk to all of Nevadans about all of the issues that matter to Nevadans and not the issues that matter to the parties.
Do I have to vote for all 5?
You don't. And I think it's really important as we go through today that we characterize, that we maintain context. What California does is not at all what we're proposing to do in Nevada. They have a jungle primary, the top 2 go to the general. It's very different than what we're doing in Nevada. The better analogy would be Alaska. You don't have to vote for 5, you can vote for 1 the same way you do now. But if you want to make sure that you have your vote goes further, you have the opportunity to rank up to 5. You might only rank 3, which is fine, or you can rank 5. But that makes sure that you still have a say. Your vote matters, even if your candidate, you vote for a candidate that has no chance of winning, but you want to make that vote, you can rank your more populist candidates 2 and 3 and things like that. So it gives you the option of being able to make sure your vote and your voice goes further.
And so, John, how do you describe the ballot measure, the 2 parts of it, to the typical person who just wants to know, tell me what I need to do?
With ranked choice voting, because it is a very confusing concept of how it's counted. Whenever I discuss this with people, it usually takes a while for the concept to sink in, where there's 5 candidates, you're ranking, people are voting 1 through 5, and the candidate, if no one gets 50 plus 1 vote in the first round, then the candidate with the least amount of votes is then, those votes are taken away, and those ballots are looked at for the second choice, and then those are distributed amongst the remaining 4. What? Some people, the people who make the worst choice or the least popular choice, now get to vote again, but the others don't? I mean, that, first of all, just doesn't seem constitutional, but I understand this is the Nevada Constitution, not the federal. So that just seems completely strange. And then where it has been tried, Maine and Alaska, they've been getting outcomes that have been surprises. And that just gives people an unsettled feeling. And then also the concept of, if you want to not have ballot exhaustion and your ballot, make sure it happens every time, that if you don't fill it out, runs the risk of exhaustion, but then you're forced to write in people that you don't want. Do you really want your 4th place choice to win and you're going to feel good about that? I mean, there are people right now that I will never write in because I just totally disagree with what they stand for. So,
but I don't need to.
No, you don't need to. But okay, so in Maine, 2018 congressional race, 9,000 ballots were exhausted. They didn't get counted at some point. yet they voted and thought they would have a say. So it's one thing win or lose in a simple plurality. That makes sense. It's simple for people. And then also there is a lot of distrust of computers and algorithms. And how else are you going to count this without an algorithm?
It happens. And when it does, there's UMC Quick Care.
Pro Group Management is the place where companies can find workers' comp solutions that are designed to meet their specific business requirements. As regulations evolve, Pro Group takes a proactive approach to clear the path to make sure your business stays ahead of the curve. Knowing your workers' comp program is optimized, you can focus on other important matters related to your growing business. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
What do you count on? You count on your power every day. At NV Energy, we've always powered what's important to you, but we're not looking at the past. We're focused on the future. While our standards are high, our rates will remain low. And our commitment to renewables isn't just meeting standards, but leading the way. Because you can count on more than just your power. You can count on the company who brings it to you. That's our promise. You can count on it.
We put our lives on the line to defend democracy, protect freedom, and secure the American way of life. But as independent voters, we're denied an equal voice in our elections because of Nevada's closed primary. This November, we have the chance to change that with Question 3. Question 3 opens our primary so all independent voters have a voice in our primary election. Vote yes on Question 3 to open our primary so all our voices matter.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're continuing our debate on Question 3. Mark Robinson from the Reno Gazette-Journal, who covers state politics, is along with me, along with John Tsarpalas from Nevada Policy and Mike Draper, the spokesman for Yes on 3. Mark, it is yours.
Okay, so Mike, I can tell you that my 91-year-old father, that he's still very excited to vote, can't wait to do it. But he doesn't like change. Most people don't like change, but especially at his age, he doesn't want to learn something new. And so my question for you is that why is ranked choice voting so significantly better than our current system that we need to put people through this potential confusion and change that they don't want, many of them don't want, or think they don't want?
Well, I think we've got some great examples in recent time. There's been third-party candidates that have generated a lot of excitement. And again, people have felt like the two major parties that they were voting for the lesser of two evil, and there's been third-party candidates that have generated excitement, but everybody feels like they're throwing away their vote if they vote for that third-party candidate. And so this gives people an opportunity to still be able to vote for the person that represents them and then rank. If there's someone else that they want, they can vote them number 2 and them number 3. But if you just want to vote for one, all you have to do is vote for one. It's exactly the same now. Your ballot gets exhausted in a plurality race like we have right now as soon as your candidate doesn't win. We have a lot of races where candidates don't win with a majority. This ensures that candidates have to win with a majority, and which again was the premise of our democracy, was that the majority rules. And so I think there's a huge opportunity here that certainly it can be, there's ways to explain it that are confusing, but it's really as simple as, when I came over to the show today, I tried to pick the fastest route. There's 10 different routes I could take to come here. So I picked the fastest route, but if there was construction on that, I'd pick my backup route. And if there was an accident on that, I'd pick my third route to get here. It's really as simple as that. We do it every day.
Okay, and so John, for you, one of the things with it being confusing or portrayed as confusing, it reminds me of just like trying to teach somebody a simple card game like Uno, where if you just try to tell them how to play Uno, it makes no sense. But within 30 seconds of playing it, it instantly makes sense. And so what evidence is there that a significant portion of Nevadans are going to be too baffled to be able to figure this out?
No, I don't think they'll be baffled. I think it's going to take educating them on how to vote a ranked choice voting ballot. But Are they going to be happy with the outcomes? Your example of picking different routes still gets you to the same endpoint. You picking different candidates in a third and fourth round doesn't get you the same outcome legislatively. So you're going to have to compromise your legislative goals when you're making different rankings and filling out a complete ballot if you want to get the full ballot. Again, people are going to become dissatisfied with this after we're stuck with it. This is a constitutional amendment. It will take 6 years to get rid of it if we don't like it. Alaska has it on the ballot already to get rid of it, to repeal it, because there was a lot of pushback. A lot of people are upset with the system and with the outcomes. So this should never have been tried as a constitutional amendment. We should have done a test run. We should have done one local race here, one north, one south, and let people see if they like it and does it make sense to people. This is like a radical change. And by the way, you mentioned what races it was and what it wasn't. We're going to have 4 different ways we're voting in an election, between how you vote for president, the statewide, the ranked choice voting version, then you go to partisan counties, but then the local races are nonpartisan, and if someone gets 50% in the primary, then that race is over. You've got 4 different sets of rules then. As it is, we've got 3. Why do we want to add that burden to the average person? Make a choice, figure out what you want, how you want your government to work, and go with it.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come right back after this timeout.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
They want us to believe we only have 2 options. That's just not working anymore. I've never been a follower. I'm a businessman and entrepreneur. I'm ready to forge a new path to secure our future, one that keeps Northern Nevada free, fair, and wild. A path that means freedom for all, including affordable housing.
I'm Greg Kidd, and I approve this message because I'm not from either political party. I'm for Nevada.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
I feel strongly about access to abortion because my life could have been at risk without one. So when I hear about Sam Brown's extreme views, it really scares me. Sam Brown has repeatedly supported efforts to ban abortion without any exceptions, even for rape or incest. And he supports letting states, including Nevada, prosecute doctors and women for having an abortion. Sam Brown is a MAGA extremist, and he'd hurt Nevada.
Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, along with Mark Robinson from the Reno Gazette-Journal, who covers state politics for them. We're having a debate on question 3 with Mike Draper. He's the spokesman for Yes on 3, and John Tsarpalas, who is with Nevada Policy. Go ahead, Mark.
Okay, so John, I'm registered nonpartisan, and so this ballot measure lets me participate more fully in the primaries, and so why should I vote against giving myself more power at the ballot box?
Because the second half of the constitutional amendment is about ranked choice voting, and that is going to create more confusion. It's going to come up, have candidates win that people didn't expect to win. It's going to create unease.
So let me throw in there that, so as a nonpartisan, one of the things that I'm also looking for is non-major party candidates and voting across the aisle and things like that. And so I want multiple choices. I want to perhaps vote for a Greg Kidd in the primary for the U.S. House, as opposed to only getting the chance to have him considered in the general election.
So we also run the risk of all 5 candidates that advance are from one party. We're not just, right now we're guaranteed different viewpoints. You're going to get a Democrat, perhaps more liberal or progressive viewpoint. You're going to get a Republican viewpoint. And you're going to get some of the independent parties because they're already listed on our general ballot. In this open primary system of Final 5, we have no idea who's going to come out of it. Obviously, people with more name ID and more experience are going to get probably in the top 5. But in a state such as ours, with the Harry Reid machine, much more organization on the Democrat side, that could work 2 ways. You get only 1 Democrat so they don't split the vote, or you end up with 5 Democrats. So it's just less predictable, and some people prefer that. I would prefer to see at least we're going to get a balance of opinions versus whoever figures out how to game this, and that might be possible too. No one seems to know.
Okay.
So some interesting statistics came out from the Gwynn Center, and again, you can just type in Gwynn in our search box on our website and go and watch that show. Very informative. They found, and they polled over 800 people, that lots of people didn't know that, or they thought that we had an open primary. 65% of the voters thought we had no open primary. Only 35% knew we had a closed primary. Only 20% of the people they polled knew the rules of how to vote in an election. So and I'll start with you, Mike, on this. We're starting from a point where people don't even know how the system works.
I think that's obviously indicative of a problem with our election system. I think the part of the reason
maybe not the election system, but the education.
But I would argue it might be the system. We have, especially over the last 30 years, we've seen the numbers grow across the country and in the state of people who want to see more parties, more choices, who feel like the 2-party system doesn't work, who feel like they're not represented. And that's why we don't see participation. People don't care to know because they feel like their vote doesn't matter. Or they feel like whatever candidate gets elected, it's not going to represent them or it's not going to matter. I think even to John's point about being unpredictable, it's not, I'm not looking for unpredictability, but what I am looking for, regardless of party, is 5 candidates that represent the majority of Nevadans. I don't think that's a bad thing, regardless of what letters by their name. If 5 people advance to the general and they represent the majority view of a large swath of our electorate, I think that's what our forefathers intended when we set up the election system that we have right now.
John?
Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. We've got a solid system. Confidence is unfortunately low because of all the radical changes recently in election law, mail-in ballots, ballot harvesting. Ballot harvesting used to be illegal. So people have an unsettled viewpoint, and that comes from 2016 when there was a call of vote fraud then, and then obviously 2020. We need stability. We need simplicity. We need a simple system. To think that people are going to be comfortable with trying to make 5 choices or feel they have to make 5 choices, and I get they can just vote once and walk away, that's fine. But then they're going to have this unsettled, what happened? It went into a 3rd round. How does this work? How does this count it? This doesn't make sense. It's just about confidence, and this isn't it. And we do have problems. This isn't the solution to those problems. Let's fix the primary system.
Okay, so Mike, the Heritage Foundation says that 2nd and 3rd choice votes should not matter in America. They do not provide the mandate that ensures that representatives in a republic have the confidence and support of a majority of the public in the legitimacy of their decisions. And so what would you say to someone who thinks that ranked choice voting decreases the strength of the winner's mandate?
Well,
Got about 30 seconds.
There's a number of polls that would show people don't have confidence in the system as it is right now. So I think to suggest and hypothesize that 2nd and 3rd place votes would lead to a decrease in confidence is a little hypocritical compared to where we're at right now. I also think that When you look at a place like Alaska, their exit polling showed that 85% of their voters thought this was a simple system. I think that we're talking about making sure Americans are heard, that Nevadans are heard, that the issues that matter to us are what matters to our elected officials, and that there's some element of compromise amongst our elected officials. A majority of Nevadans and a majority of Americans want to see more compromise in their politics. And right now our politics are so polarizing in the two-party system that we don't see that.
Okay, John, you get the last 30 seconds here.
It's too complicated. It doesn't belong in our Constitution. I would love to have this come back after Alaska votes it out so that we can see if it was popular or not. If it remains, then fine. It was working for them. It's untested. They're trying to sneak it into the smaller states quickly. It needs to be stopped now. Give it some time. See if it works. I think people will eventually realize this is not a good system.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for a nice civil discussion on this. We appreciate you both being here, and thank you. And we'll be right back.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
Southwest Specialties has been making the homes and businesses of Nevada beautiful for more than 20 years. Their experienced designers and craftsmen create the walkways, backyards, water features, and a variety of outdoor cooking areas that add curb appeal and value to your investment. Call today or visit them at their website and see how they can make your outdoor spaces special. Southwest Specialties, creative, distinctive, beautiful.
Welcome to the Winnemucca Big R.
Hi, I'm John Walker. Welcome to Big R Lovelock.
Hi, I'm Rich Martin. Welcome to Fallon Big R.
My name is Braden. Welcome to Big R Fernley.
Hi, I'm Kelly. Welcome to Big R Sparks.
Nevada Newsmakers Goes to Washington is brought to you by Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you. NV Energy. NV Energy proudly serves Nevada, providing electricity to 2.4 million electric customers. The Nevada Mining Association, mining a better future for Nevada. And University Medical Center of Southern Nevada, offering the highest level of care in Nevada.
Early in the morning or throughout the night, professional truck drivers are on the job, serving you, safely moving freight that's crucial to our economy. From the oldest industries to our newest innovators, from the exotic to the everyday, trucks are everywhere, moving everything. Never afraid to embrace a future that makes Nevada and our nation stronger. Trucking moves America forward.
Thanks for watching Nevada Newsmakers. We'll see you on the next broadcast.